I think that's an important premise to come from as we're seeing this expansion in psychedelic use and this sort of psychedelic renaissance taking place, that people are mistaking the role or the purpose of the substances in their journey.
But I remember I started interacting with different energies.
As you still are part of the food chain. So if you know that you live in a place where there are animals that can eat you, it kind of changes your mindset a little bit.
Have you encountered other people with those goblins? Have you ever seen the goblins?
Awe of the stage of the progression where I'm at in this experience and what I'm able, how the beauty that I see this universe unfolding before in every moment.
For me, it's unbelievable. I agree. I've always thought I'm living life, but also life is living me.
And I think we're seeing this a lot where people are both just using it over and over and over again for what they think is a healing purpose. And then other people are just using it over and over again for either escapism or exploration. And in both of those cases, there's in some cases, there's a dependency that can be created on that and an actual lack of going into the place that somebody thinks that they're actually trying to achieve. My understanding that in the healing process with ayahuasca down here in the Amazon, they do a series of 2 to 3 ceremonies. The locals typically do a series of 2 to 3 ceremonies, and that lasts anywhere from 6 months to a year. And they only go back and use it again if there's a need. And that would be like, to support that healing process a little bit more, but that they would tell you that the healing is going to take 6 months to a year, but that the first intervention with ayahuasca is going to happen in the first week. And then after that, it would be very much like you say, it's a process of actually working through yourself. And the ayahuasca is used to kind of break through the barriers or break through the mental patternings or help somebody dislodge and create movement where there was stagnation. And then after that, it's a process that they describe as working with the plant spirit, which is an idea of this energy is within you and it's helping you and it's supporting you be able to move on. But I think that that's very real and something that needs to be shared in this new psychedelic healing culture that's coming out, that you can just as easily create a dependency upon the psychedelics as you can any other kind of negative behavior or negative habit. And really the self-help and the transcendence of the trauma or depression or anxiety or PTSD or addiction or just the malaise that people experience is actually, like you say, it's an integrative process. And for people just to keep that in mind, that if you're looking for, the magic support, you can get it from the plant medicine. But really, there's a lot of drudgery. There's a lot of working with yourself and that evolutionary process that comes with that. Through your journey early on with ayahuasca, I'm interested in if you had like transcendent experiences or personal experiences of source or divinity or God, something that you would put within those kinds of terms, if that actually opened up for you in those explorations.
Mm-hmm. Before I answer the question, I want to end the last piece of the conversation and not necessarily recommend, but just say that I very consciously combined, let's say, classical Western approaches to psychotherapy, which are very structured, which have like methods and toolboxes and questionnaires and trained therapists and accredited therapists, and combining that with plant medicine or mysticism. So I'm not saying this needs to be true for other people, but it certainly helped me in my healing journey. To answer your own, the question of source. So truth be told, I almost always can, with a tab of LSD, have like source consciousness in half an hour. With ayahuasca, it's different. At least for me, ayahuasca is always a journey, and I can only coin what I think was on the soul level